Have you ever been in a situation, maybe in a relationship, where you just felt powerless? Well, we're going to dive into a really powerful idea today. What if your power was never actually taken from you? What if reclaiming it is way simpler than you think? This one idea, it might just change how you see everything.
Just sit with that for a second. You didn't lose your power, you gave it away. That's a pretty challenging thought, right? It totally shifts the story. It's not about being a victim or having something stolen. It's about putting the control and, yeah, the responsibility right back where it belongs, with you.
So, what's the real difference between having your power taken and giving it away? Getting this is the key to everything. Let's break down what this actually looks like in our day-to-day lives, because honestly, it's usually super subtle.
So let's look at how this happens, because it's almost never one big dramatic moment. It's more like a slow drip, a process where, maybe without even realizing it, you've let other people have way more influence than you ever intended. It usually starts small. You let someone else's bad day completely ruin your day. Suddenly, their mood is setting the entire tone for your own inner world. And from there, it can creep into your choices. Maybe you say yes when every fiber of your being is screaming no. Or you end up on a path you never would have picked for yourself, all because you're trying to live up to someone else's expectations.
And then, before you know it, it feels like you've just handed over the keys to your own emotional control center. You end up feeling reactive all the time, instead of feeling like you're actually in the driver's seat.
So why? Why does this happen to us? Well, the reasons are just deeply human. This isn't about being weak. So often it comes from a really good place, our basic need to connect and keep things harmonious.
You adjusted. You made yourself a little smaller, a little more agreeable, and you did it for people you cared about, right? You did it to keep the peace, to avoid a fight, and to feel that sense of acceptance and love that we all want so badly.
Okay, this is where the perspective really starts to pivot. Because the goal here isn't to start pointing fingers or blaming anyone for how we feel. It's about stepping into something way more empowering. And this right here, this is the crucial part. It's not their fault. Taking this on board completely removes blame from the equation, because holding on to anger just keeps you stuck. This idea, it gives you a way forward.
This lays it out perfectly. Look at the two sides here. They were just being them, acting from their own stuff, their own perspective. The other side of that coin was your reaction. You responded by handing over a little piece of your power.
The moment you truly get that distinction, the space between their action and your reaction, that is the turning point. That's the moment when everything can start to shift for you.
So what does realizing this actually change? Oh, it changes everything. Because if you were the one who gave your power away, well, that opens up this incredible new possibility. It means the control is and always was in your hands. And here is the beautiful promise in all of this. What was given, even if you didn't realize you were giving it, can be taken back. Your power was never gone for good. You just sort of lent it out for a while.
All right, so if you can take your power back, how do you actually do it? Let's get practical. The best news is it is never, ever too late to start reclaiming your own personal sovereignty.
The path forward is actually pretty clear. First, you have to set boundaries. Then, and this is the hard part, you have to stand firm in them, even when it feels awkward or uncomfortable. And most importantly, you have to start choosing yourself, your own well-being, your own peace over and over again. Let's just let this final thought land. This reframes your entire identity. You are not a person who is lacking power or who needs to find it somewhere out there. You are power itself. You are power just waiting to be expressed. So that's your call to action. Thinking about this is one thing, but actually living it is something else entirely. So I'll leave you with this to think about. If you are, in fact, power incarnate, what is the very first boundary you're going to choose to set today?